Hey everybody, just getting on here, 6 o'clock now, so I'll give it a few minutes and wait for some people to get on here and we'll get rolling here. So just thought I would start doing some live messaging. You know, we've been trying a lot of different forums here and you'll have to bear with me. I'm learning this Facebook Live process as we roll. So yeah, we'll as we keep going. Hey Eddie, good to see you. You know, as we continue this, you know, we've been trying different forums. We've had a few things where we've went to one of the events we had at a park yesterday in Lansing, and you know, we've also went to some plants, actually to a local union meeting to hand out flyers beforehand. So we're just trying to try different means to see what's effective. So I really think, you know, just in looking at overall, social media obviously is going to be, I think, the best route to go. Just in, you know, getting messaging out and being able to communicate with members directly. So, you know, we're going to rely heavily, I think, on this. So the goal from here on out, you know, I'm going to try to do at least a message a week, probably a couple messages a week. Got another segment I'm going to be starting in the next day or so. Sorry about that. Just had an invite. So you know, basically, you know, we're just gonna keep rolling this way, and so like I said, we'll give it a few minutes here. Hey, Dustin, Christy, welcome, Christy. Hey, Bill. You know, things have been going good though. Been had really good response. Good to see you, Nick. You know. Really spent the last few weeks just trying to kind of assess where we are, hey Rita, and just really you know, figure out next steps going forward with the campaign. And so things have been going good. Great response um, all over different sectors, and so you know, we're just gonna keep it rolling. And hey Justin, how's it going? Dave, long time no see, buddy. uh, So yeah, we'll give it a few more minutes here. And, you know, so I do have an idea for something I'm going to do. I'll probably be doing another live feed here in the next couple of days, probably tomorrow or Friday. So I don't want to really reveal what I'm going to be doing till we do it. But just to kind of address some of the things that have been going on, you know, comments being made, different things, and just, you know, trying to set some facts out there and you know, make sure that good information is getting out and that everybody's, you know, on the same page, and that, you know, the one thing I've tried to do throughout this campaign, you know, I'm not going out trashing and bashing other candidates. I mean, to me, I've never ran that way when I was elected 5 terms in the plant, and so I really don't, you know, intend on doing that, you know, as a campaign in this. But I'm also, you know, as other candidates do take shots at me, I mean, I've tried to ignore that and leave it alone, not give them the attention they need. But there are some things I think being said that need to be straightened out. So we'll be doing some of that in the future. Hey, Leon, hey, Colin, Victor, good to see you guys. Dave, welcome. Hey, Kim, hope Keith's doing all right, keeping him under control. Um, so yeah, so you know, it's 6:05, so we'll go ahead and get rolling here. You know, want to start by thanking the members that came out yesterday over in Lansing. You know, we made a trip over, myself and Rich Boyer did, and some of our team, and it was really good experience getting to meet some of the members from the Delta and Grand River plants in Lansing, and along with the people that came from some of the Flint locals, and also some retirees showed up we got to talk with. So it was really some great conversation, you know, talking about, you know, issues and also about the upcoming election. And, you know, the one thing, no matter where we've been, no matter what sector it's in, I mean, if it's, you know, don't matter, higher ed, big three, IPS, gaming, whatever the sector, you pick it. You know, I think a lot of our members, the bigger majority, feel like the top leaders of our union, you know, are just, you know, basically completely out of touch with the membership on the floor. And, you know, and in my opinion, you know, many of them are. You know, as I said, Sunday we went to a local union meeting, and it's typical. Like that meeting, it ended up being canceled. You know, we were handing out flyers before the meeting as people went in, but the meeting ended up being canceled because there wasn't enough there for a quorum. And you know, I can speak this, you know, from my own local in the past. I mean, a lot of times, a lot of people that go to the local union meetings are, you know, appointed and elected officials that have to be there. You know, because they're required to by the bylaws. But you know, so and I don't think that, you know, I just think really, in my opinion, a lot of the membership have just checked out. You know, and it's due to frustration. You know, they feel like their issues aren't being resolved and their needs aren't being met. So you know, I think a lot of members have just resorted to checking out. And you know, with the system we have, with the past convention system of elections, there's really no option there. You know, so. You know, the election's determined before the thing ever happens. I mean, the IAB does a great job of going out and, you know, meeting with all the delegates and the local leaders and, you know, pressuring them to support the caucus before the convention ever happens. And even at this last convention, as we saw some of the business unfold, you know, you see the same thing happening. So we have to change this. And, you know, this is our shot, you know, and that's the thing with this election. You know, this election is about you. It's about the membership. You know, and this is the first time, you know, over 80 years, you know, that everybody gets to cast a ballot, you know, for the top leadership. You know, this is very important. And, you know, you think of the significance of that. I mean, I was thinking of this the other day. You know, the last time there was a contentious election for the presidency of the union and the top leaders of the union, it was when Walter Reuther was first elected in the 1940s. I mean, that's crazy to think of that. But since that time, you know, as the caucus was created and as it continued to grow and grow in power and you know, in their hold over everything, you know, it really just came to a point where our members don't feel like they have you know, a fighting chance anymore. And you know, basically our conventions every election cycle, every 4 years, you know, it just became another system of you know, no one runs against them, you know, or one candidate here or there does, because there's really no opportunity. And it's already determined long before it ever happens. So, you know, the current IEB slate, you know, that's the one thing that I look at too is, you know, they want you to believe they have your best interest in mind. But the one thing you don't forget this. I mean, we just had the one member, one vote initiative, and the IEB is adamantly opposed to that initiative. And why is that? You know, they do not want you to have a say in their leadership. They want to go back to the convention system of elections where they determine who the president's going to be, who the VPs are going to be. And, you know, when it's a convention system of elections, they control the outcome. So it's determined before we have it. And that's what this is all about. I mean, this is our first truly democratic election in all of our lifetimes. It's vital. You know, all you have to do is look at the track record of our IEB, you know, in the last 40 years, you know, to understand why we need to vote for change. I mean, this is something I've done at Chrysler alone, but I'll tell you, it's no different at GM, Ford, or many other sectors. But this is actually our index of the units, the bargaining units from our contract books. This is just from Chrysler alone. But this is like 1973. You'll see there was over 40 units. This fast forward to 1993, we're down to 21 units. And go to 2015, we were down to 14 units. And if you really look closer to 2015, you got Belvedere Assembly, who's hanging by a life thread right now. I mean, they're barely hanging on, and there's been a lot of product awarded, just not to them. Toledo Machining, you know, they're hanging on by a thread. Marysville Axle on this list has been spun off. Trenton Engine Complex is on the verge of the North plant being made into warehouse. So, you know, this is the reality of the last 40 years of the IEB and their system of convention elections, and the fact that they are not accountable to the members. Over this same time frame, you know, we've lost 1 million members. That's not a good track record, and that's, to me, is a testament enough to show that this system doesn't work. Every day right now, when I drive to work in Warren, Michigan, the last corner I turn to go to my office building is I look at the GM transmission plant in Warren, and you know, that plant was slated for closure in 19, and it's one of the plants, several plants at GM that were slated for closure that, you know, the strike didn't impact, and it ended up closing. And right now that plant's being demolished, and it's a sad testimony, you know, and it's a daily reminder to me of how little our top leaders have done to fight for our membership, when plant after plant gets closed or spun off. And the sad reality, this happens at GM, it's happened everywhere. At Chrysler right now, like I said, we've got plants that are basically on a lifeline. And, the sad reality of this is all these opportunities our leadership has had to take on the companies and actually fight for our jobs and do what we pay dues for. They've refused to do it. And the one time, I'll tell you, at Chrysler, in the last time I think we struck an actual strike for product was in the 90s. But we just struck, back in Marysville Axle. And the sad part is, Marysville was slated to be spun off, for the last several years. And the leadership there at the local was begging for help. And at the end of the day, I mean, we didn't fight one bit. But the sad reality of that whole situation is when it was spun off to ZF, the top leadership decided to strike ZF for recognition for the new members that are going to be making lower money doing the same work. I mean, that to me is just a testament of how misguided the priorities are right now at the top level of our union. I mean, we're willing to strike for recognition for lower pay, but we're not willing to strike to keep the jobs and keep the work in-house. That's got to change, and it's not going to change unless we quit voting for company union type leaders and we vote for leaders that are going to fight. And the sad reality, these plants that have been closed, no matter what sector, GM, Ford, Chrysler, or losing products right now, they're not being closed or spun off because there's not product out there. They're being spun off and closed because our leadership refuses to fight. And again, that's the bottom line. That's what this is all about. The model that our leaders have been following, it does not work for our membership. And in order to affect change, we've got to elect new leaders that have experience and the fortitude to stand up and take on these companies. That's why we formed the Members United Slate. We have a diverse group with experience and a good slate of leaders that, have been in the fight. Hell, I can show you, here's a newspaper article from 2007 when I was anti-ratification, when they went to the tier 2 workers and outsourced all the janitorial work. I mean, there was no excuse for that. I mean, some of you may have read on the website where I talked about, we might as well put a gun to our head if we ratify this. And look what's happened. I mean, we're right where we thought we would be back then. A bunch of members that, are all different levels. You got temps that, are hoping someday to get a full-time job. You've got tier 2 people that don't have post-retirement health care, post-retirement or a pension. That takes 8 years to get to full pay. 2015 and 2019, we had a golden opportunity to really reverse a lot of this stuff. And rather than do that, our leaders took the company union, path that they've been on and settled for less. So when we look at our slate, we have proven leaders. Margaret Mock is running for Secretary Treasurer, Rich Boyer, Mike Booth running for Vice President seats. LaShawn English, one of the regional director seats, and Dan Vicente and Brandon. Those guys, all running for regional directors. We have a diverse group. I mean, male, female, Latina, African Americans. We have young and old. We have low seniority people. We have high seniority people. That's the difference in our slate. And they also have experience. I've been through negotiations, local level, national level. A lot of our leaders have. Some of these other guys, Margaret, Rich, and Mike have been through plant closings. They've been through spinoffs. So they're battle tested. And the sad reality is they've lived this reality. So they understand the experience that our members are going through on the floor. On the other end of the spectrum with the IEB, these people have facilitated a lot of this. They've allowed it to happen with no action, no fights. So, the bottom line, with bargaining just around the corner, we have to elect people that can hit the ground running. To lead the big 3 bargaining coming up here, there's not going to be time for a learning curve for someone who's never been through negotiations or, better yet, ever written a grievance. So in a nutshell, here's your choices. If you, hey, sorry about that. They can't vote for a guy that buttons will pull all the way up. There you go. here's the choices, in a nutshell. I mean, you can elect the current IEB and their slate and make the corporation's dreams come true. I mean, because we'll continue on a path of company unionism and we'll just continue to die a slow death. You can elect the members united slate. And, and also I would highly encourage you in the other races where members united slate people aren't on those races. If there are other candidates running against the IEB, I would highly recommend that you vote for them. But if we elect these groups, I truly believe, that, we'll take these companies on. We're going to fight for our jobs, both current jobs and future jobs in EV. I mean, we're falling further and further behind. We're already way behind, as far as EVs go. And we can't afford to play catch up anymore. We're going to fight to put COLA back in there. It should have already been back. COLA and, a lot of the job security language from bankruptcy, it was suspended. It wasn't eliminated, it was suspended. It's been suspended for 13 years. There's no excuse in 15 and 19 that some of those things weren't addressed. And it's just a lack of will on the top leadership. We've got to end tiers. We've got to eliminate the temp abuses, and we've got to fight for retirees. They're the people they're the reason we're here. And there's no reason. It's been done before. The last time we got raises for retirees, I believe, was in like '07. So it's been years. It's long overdue. And then your third option on top of the IAB and the company union, the Members United slate and fighting for our members is, you can elect some of these first timers that, and in my reality and what I believe, we'll have our asses handed to us by the companies. Or better yet, we'll end up in court in lawsuits, because the top leader is going to be too busy trying to learn what the job entails. We don't have time for that. They can knock experience all they want and say experience doesn't matter. Experience does matter. Like I said, some of our leaders, they've been through plant closings. They've been spun off. They've lived the reality. I've had to stand in front of members and, being laid off. I've had to, you got to be honest with members. You got to tell them the truth. And it's a hard thing to do. It's a tough thing to do. And so we are battle tested. We've been there. And this is our shot. This is our one shot where, for the first time ever, the choice is yours, so we got to take advantage of this. And, all you have to do in this election, the ballots are going to start being mailed out October 17th. All you got to do is mark that ballot and mail it back in. So, it's time to take our union back, and this is your time, this is your shot, and we've got to take advantage of this. I mean, one member, one vote doesn't mean anything if we don't take advantage of it and affect change in leadership. So definitely ask you to, to jump on and support our team, and look forward to communicating more in the future. And like I said, we'll be coming out with another message the next couple of days. I have plans to come out with a short message that I'm going to start doing. And so I hope y'all, I'll send the notice out. Hope you all will join on. And as we keep moving through this, next week we'll do a couple more posts. So like I said, my goal is to start doing a couple Facebook Live videos a week, so we can really amp up the communication level, because unfortunately, I mean, we've tried, like I said, a lot of other means, going to parks and doing different things, but the turnout's just not where I think it's really efficient use of our time. So I really think, we're going to keep trying to engage members, meet at bars, meet at, at public events if we can, and hit plant gates if we're allowed to stay. But but other than that, we're going to keep the information flowing. So I highly encourage you to visit, this Facebook group, and a lot of us have, personal web pages also. So look us up and really look at the candidates and look at what they're saying. So that's really all I have. I've looked at some of these comments here. I'm trying to go back through some of these and see if there's anything in here I can respond to. I tried to unbutton my shirt. Fix our seniority issues, and I mean, that's the thing. I mean, there are so many different issues of seniority. I mean, in seniority, again, like when we talk about retirees, retirees to me are sacred. Seniority, I mean, it's all that matters when we hire in these plants and stuff. That's what gets us, that's what gets us everything. I mean, our shift, it gets us, a lot of different, benefits. And so, we have to honor the seniority of our people, and especially in these situations. I mean, I have a couple friends at GM that, were from Kokomo, from where my hometown originally, that I grew up with. And, they call themselves GM gypsies. And I mean, it's sad. I mean, they've been to 5 different plants, some of them, and it's no fault of their own. I mean, they're showing up to work every day. They've done nothing but show up and do their job. So, we have to fight for people. We have to fight for their seniority, and no matter what sector it is, no matter where we go with this. So that's what our team's dedicated to do. And again, we just ask you guys to support us and spread the word. It's important. It's vital that you guys, that everybody out here, spreads the word. And I'm going to also, like I said, I'll be addressing some of the comments that have been made about me and my history and my past. I mean, I've let one of the other candidates, run his mouth quite a bit, and I've not addressed it, but I will be addressing some of those things because, unfortunately, there's just flat out not factual. And it's a shame that some candidates have nothing to sell themselves on but lies and crap because they have no experience and they have nothing to go on. But that'll all come out in the election. So I look forward to continuing this, and thank all you guys for getting on here. With that, I guess I'll go ahead and tap out and look forward. And either tomorrow or Friday, I'm probably going to jump back on and do another live. So I hope all of you will jump on, and I'm pretty excited about the next live I'm going to do. So I hope you all will enjoy it, and look forward to communicating some more. So thanks a lot, and we'll be talking.